Only 3% of the population. This is the average rate of individuals who may have antisocial personality disorder, commonly known as psychopathy. I would estimate it to be closer to 10%. Today, we are going to discuss the 5 greatest psychopaths in all of anime. I'm Oliver, I have a background in psychology, and this is the Anime Psychology channel. Please subscribe and like this video so we can continue creating content. What exactly is psychopathy? The classic definition of antisocial personality disorder in the DSM-5, which is the Diagnostic and Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, states that certain characteristics can indicate that a person suffers from this condition. If a person displays 3 or more of these 7 characteristics, they are prone to antisocial personality disorder. 1. Disregard for the law. 2. Deceitfulness. 3. Impulsivity. 4. Irritability or aggressiveness. 5. Engaging in risky behavior that jeopardizes their safety or that of others. 6. Irresponsibility. 7. Lack of remorse. It is also important to note that one must be 18 years or older to be diagnosed. Therefore, there are no psychopathic children under the age of 15, as a child may only exhibit prodromal symptoms. A prodromal symptom would be a sign that the person might develop a disorder in the future. In the case of psychopathy, there are some specific symptoms, such as bedwetting beyond a certain age, cruelty to animals, and playing with fire. If I exhibit 3 of these symptoms, does that mean I'm a psychopath? If I wet the bed during the day, does that mean I'm a psychopath? Not necessarily. Only a psychiatrist or psychologist can conduct an assessment after a psychological evaluation to understand an individual's situation. It's not that straightforward. Not every psychopath is a criminal. Not exactly. There are many individuals with psychopathic traits who may never be diagnosed, but certainly cause significant harm to those around them. On the other hand, there are people who commit crimes, tortures, and murders. Many studies suggest that in some cases, politicians exhibit a higher percentage of psychopathic traits. In other words, most psychopaths are not killers. Michael Stone, a forensic criminologist, developed what is known as the scale of evil, which classifies the severity of a crime from 1 to 20, with 21 representing someone who kills in self-defense and 22 being a psychopathic serial killer. At level 10, we delve into the depths of evil. All the anime characters we will analyze are above 15 on this scale. Now, let's meet the 5 greatest psychopaths in anime history. Keep in mind that all 5 of these characters possess all 7 characteristics, far exceeding the minimum required to be considered psychopaths. We'll count down from 5th to 1st. The 5th character is Frieza from Dragon Ball. Anyone who watched Dragon Ball as a kid was afraid of Frieza. He is different from other Dragon Ball characters, like Cell, Majin Buu, and even the Saiyans, who exhibit some form of hope. While all the villains in Dragon Ball have killed many people, Frieza did so with even greater intensity. The scene where he kills Vegeta is incredibly powerful and showcases his cruelty. He is narcissistic and believes that weak people should either die or serve him. He uses coercion to gain followers who follow him out of fear. An actor once said in an interview that Frieza has a personality similar to that of real estate speculators, often regarded as the worst type of people. Frieza is an iconic character from Dragon Ball, and we always want to see him defeated. It's great when Frieza returns because it gives us the chance to witness more of his defeats. He is a character that every Dragon Ball fan will always remember. The 4th character is Orochimaru from Naruto. Surprisingly, Naruto is an anime that doesn't typically feature many characters with psychopathic traits. It presents numerous characters with disorders, often related to childhood trauma, but Orochimaru is one of the most complex. He easily fits all 7 characteristics. Orochimaru is individualistic. Almost everything he does is for himself. He seeks immortality at the expense of others. He is able to attract many people, but he does not care about what happens to them. His main concern is achieving his goals. He shows very little remorse and conducts cruel experiments, discarding people once he has used them. He lives in his own world, and almost no one realizes what he is thinking or feeling. Therefore, he is a cruel manipulator. An important point about psychopaths is that, according to some research, symptoms of psychopathy may diminish and lessen with age. In the case of Orochimaru, he might have been a child when he was first introduced in Naruto Classic. He instilled fear, and the voice acting in Naruto was very effective, creating a similar sense of dread as Frieza did in Dragon Ball. The third spot is taken by Jason from Tokyo Ghoul. By the way, what's 1000 minus 7? This is a complex anime, and I appreciate everyone who recommended it to me. The story revolves around Kaneki and features a significant number of characters with disorders. This is because, in the world of Tokyo Ghoul, there are normal humans and ghouls who are human-like beings. Not all humans possess that moral understanding of right and wrong. A ghoul was created to feed on humans. Is it wrong to kill a human for sustenance? Intellectually, distinguishing between a ghoul and a human is challenging, as both have the same cognitive abilities. Jason embodies cruelty in this anime. He believes that the weak should suffer and that the weak are to blame for what happens to them. For a psychopath, feeling justified involves believing that others deserve the consequences they face. He'll argue that others deserve to go through what he inflicts on them. This mindset serves to rationalize the torture, murder, and psychological games he plays with his victims. The scene with the Turkish singer Kaneka is well crafted and impactful, but Kaneki's lack of reaction amplifies the anguish. Besides the disconnector that punctured a pipe, Jason's expressions of despair contrast sharply with his pleasure. In many scenes, Jason genuinely seems to relish what he's doing, making it even more terrifying because what he conveys is essentially, "I won't stop doing this." Is there a limit? No. However, the anime is exceptional, and we should appreciate it. Mitsuki, another character, has a relationship with demons that makes us ponder whether he might also have some degree of antisocial personality disorder. Nevertheless, Jason's case is somewhat different, as he undergoes significant changes by the end. His disorder is much more related to psychosis than to psychopathy. Almost all the other characters suffer from some disorder. Regardless, it's a fantastic anime, and Jason is marked as one of the greatest villains I've ever seen, especially concerning torture and lack of empathy. Without a doubt, one of the biggest psychopaths in anime. In second place, we have Hisoka from Hunter x Hunter. This anime is unique as it features many villains, each with fascinating traits. Hisoka, for instance, exhibits all 7 characteristics of a psychopath. While he isn't as cruel as Jason, he is a sophisticated character. He is cruel, perverse, manipulative, and solely seeks his own pleasures. Hisoka's thought process is difficult to decipher. It's unclear what he truly desires. He dresses in a distinctive manner, like a clown, presenting the archetype of someone innocent and fragile. But in reality, he lives for his own desires. He knows how to please the audience. Well-articulated psychopaths can draw people into their game. Hisoka helps others occasionally, but always with his own interests in mind. Unfortunately, we don't have much information about his childhood, although I've read that the creator of Tokyo Ghoul wrote a chapter where Hisoka is institutionalized. If you can, please confirm that in the comments and let me know if you'd like a complete analysis of this character. In first place is Johan Liebert from the anime Monster. The series begins with a biblical passage from the Apocalypse, referencing the Antichrist, and depicts Johan in a way that makes him stand out among other characters. He is more connected to our reality, as he possesses no supernatural powers. Johan undergoes numerous traumas even before his birth, and causes those around him to experience trauma as well. The way the story unfolds and how the director manages to hold your attention is admirable. Although Johan doesn't appear frequently in the anime, everyone knows he is a monster. He is an extremely intelligent character and often reflects on death. Johan is polite and kind, but he is actually a well-articulated, manipulative, and cruel psychopath who makes many victims without feeling remorse. Additionally, he seems indifferent even to himself. He is invited by a group of neo-Nazis to be their leader, akin to a new Adolf Hitler, and commits atrocities regardless of the victim's race, color, ethnicity, or sexual orientation, sparing even children. These traits make him the character most akin to our reality. This anime offers reflections not only on the character, but also on everyone else involved in the plot. It's an incredibly heavy anime, but it's worth watching. The defining characteristic of a psychopath is the lack of remorse or the inability to empathize with others. This empathy is crucial for maintaining healthy relationships. Individuals without remorse, like Frieza, can manipulate others and act cruelly. A psychopath is not necessarily a killer and can disguise their malice in various ways. What I mentioned about the 5 characters is that they are incredibly well developed, but we should strive to possess what they lack: empathy. There are many other psychopaths in the anime universe, such as in Saint Seiya the Lost Canvas. If you're interested, I can make a complete video about that. Please comment on which of the characters I mentioned here you would like me to analyze in depth, and the most voted ones I'll cover in the future. Thank you so much for the 1,000 subscribers. This channel reflects you, and you are its essence. Subscribe, as we have much more ahead.